Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Okay, so by the end of the session, you will be able to understand the value of blogs and storytelling for advocacy. Blogs, I know that blogs seem to be like a dying art form, but they are actually not. Blogs are long form, blogs are long standing. They're a wonderful way to archive your work, and they are a way to direct audiences to give more context to what you're doing. You'll also be able to identify key elements of an effective blog, tailor content for different audiences, amplify the reach and impact of your content, and develop a simple framework for planning your own blog. So hopefully by the end of today, we'll have you do some exercises to craft an outline for a blog, and hopefully introductions for your blogs as well. Please do feel free to share your insights. I'll invite some of you to read some text, so please don't be shy. We are all learning from each other. And I see Halimot, thank you so much for introducing yourselves. Keep an eye on the chat. As I said, this is a good space to spot potential network members. You can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so the first thing to think about a blog, an article, or a story you've read online that stayed with you. What made it memorable? Just take maybe a minute or two and share in the chat what made it memorable. It can be about anything. It does not necessarily have to be about zero waste, but of course I encourage you to think in that framework, but anything. What made this story memorable to you? Okay, but people, I see the first response, people. Iman, very nice. Created connection between me and the hero of the story. Okay, very interesting. Emotional and funny, love it. Emotions, story with a human face. Okay. Yes, keep them coming and we'll return to this. So you see, intuitively, we already know what captures us. The task is channeling what captures us and implementing it into our storytelling. We know that we connect with people. We know that we connect with emotions. We know that we connect with being inspired, being afraid, love, hope. All the things that connect with us, relatability, exactly, that's a really good one. We know these things. It's just about implementing systems where we can consolidate that knowledge and implement it into our work. You can go to the next slide, please. So why blogs? Why do they matter? So blogs provide a space to share your context and insights. They highlight personal experiences. And as you can see with asking you, thinking about a story or a blog that you've read recently, personal experiences, we're connecting with each other. They explore challenges and lessons learned. They showcase impact in greater depth. So blogs are quite special because unlike social media, blogs provide a space where you can give more information without being overwhelming. So you can give context, you can tailor your blogs for different audiences, but it doesn't have to be as in-depth as a report. It doesn't have to be jargony, and David mentioned this really nicely in his presentation, where people connect with simple language. It doesn't have to be jargony. You'll be surprised by how much jargon we see in blogs, and sometimes we think that, oh, we need to put all the words that we know, all the big words that we know. Simple is effective. You can go to the next slide. Another really important point of blogs is that blogs build a repository of your work, meaning they create a permanent record of your projects. This is also something that is quite different from channeling all your efforts into social media. Social media platforms, they change all the time. Blogs provide a space that you can always refer to. It's evergreen places that you can archive your work. They become a valuable archive that you can revisit in the future. Over time, they document your journey and impact. And what we've realized over the years is that we often pull from blogs into our donor reporting and pitching as well. It's a very effective way to narratively report your work. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so when we zoom out and we think of the bigger picture, a blog is not the end product. Think of your content in a life cycle form. So you start with creating the blog, publishing the blog, and then there's distribution and repurposing, and you archive and you continuously update. So creating the blog is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. Thank you so much. I see the introductions coming in. Also, please do keep one eye on the introductions. Like I said before, I really encourage co-creation. I really encourage collaboration. So one story can continue creating value long after publication. You can go to the next slide. Another important point that I've sort of been alluding to is in supporting your advocacy. So blogs can be referenced in your future presentations, in your campaigns, in your applications. We do a lot of work with innovation challenges where initiatives that are supporting sustainable practices can be connected to potential mentors and funders. A way that we can learn more about your project in a more emotional, connecting, human-to-human way is through the blogs that you write, that you direct us to. So blogs can be referenced in your applications. They can be referenced in your reports as well. They provide examples of your work and your experiences, and they help establish your voice and expertise on issues such as zero waste, which a lot of us here are working on. Next slide, please. Another important point is that human stories create connection. Blogs allow readers to connect with people, not just projects. People invest in people. We want to help each other. People want to help people. They help build trust and engagement. They also help with relationship building. At the end of the day, the most important things that we have are our relationships. We can only go as far as the network that we have. So blogs help deepen those relationships. Next slide, please. Okay, so we will talk about the attributes of a good blog. So as we're thinking about the life cycle of content creation, this is now step one, creation. How do we put together a good blog? A good blog typically includes a compelling title, engaging introduction, clear sections and subheadings, a strong conclusion or call to action, and good images. Those 5 points and you have a good blog. The work that we do, we recommend 800 to 1200 words. But as you build relationships with your audiences, you'll see what your audiences respond to. But that's about a good length. 800 words to 1,200 words is about a good length. Next slide, please. Okay, so now I'd like to invite two people. Can we treat this like a classroom? Could we have a reader to read introduction A, and then we have another reader to read introduction B? Please don't be shy. Who would like to read for us? Okay, there we are. Oh,
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, I think Halimot came off mute first, so you can read A, and then Kibera, is that Kibera EcoCare?
You can call me Joseph.
Joseph, thank you. You can read introduction B. Okay, go ahead. Read introduction A, please.
All right. So, hi everybody. Introduction A. Title: Turning Waste into Opportunity. How a Community is Building a Circular Future. Every day, residents of Shigaga Village face the challenge of increasing waste with limited resources to manage it. Plastic bottles, food waste, and other materials were accumulating, affecting the environment and daily life. But through a community-led zero waste initiative, local residents are transforming this challenge into an opportunity by creating new solutions, strengthening livelihoods, and building a cleaner future for generations to come.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, our next reader, could you please have you read introduction B?
Yes, introduction B. Sorry, hello everybody. My name is Joseph Kechula. I've done an introduction on chat, so it's okay. Introduction B. The title is Zero Waste Project Update. Waste is a major global issue. Many communities around the world produce too much waste and need better waste management systems. This blog explains our Zero Waste project, the activities we implemented, and the importance of reducing waste. We hope this information helps people understand the value of Zero Waste Initiative.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Okay, let's discuss. From our wonderful readers, which introduction is stronger and why? There's no wrong answer. Please feel free. Which one captured you and why?
Okay, so I'll go first. So here is stronger. The caption is captivating. Even from the caption, you're able to identify what actually the problem is and what solution they're trying to drive on the long run. And even before reading the body of the text or like that.
Yes, okay, very nice. We already get the what. Anybody? I see a hand raised. Radwa?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you today. I think in the introduction is stronger because it starts with a real human story and presents a killer problems and its impact on people daily lives. It shows a transformation from challenges to opportunity and created an emotional connection with the reader. I think in introduction is strong.
Thank you so much. Okay, so you see some reoccurring themes, human connection. It identifies the what. You can see the impact. You can see the transformation. Really nice, Radwa. Thank you. I see Joseph, your hand is raised.
Yes. So for me, I actually think it depends with the audience, right?
Okay.
So there is a specific audience that A would make sense because it's accurate and it actually kind of gives an in-depth. But then introduction B, it's a more introductory, it's a more general introduction, meaning it can serve as a template for a diverse way of introducing some projects. Because yes, not everybody would say come from Chigaga village, right? But then anybody could benefit from this brief introduction that really articulates a problem that everybody can relate to, which is the menace around West. Yep.
Very interesting. And you see, you touched on something that's also really important that we'll talk about is tailoring your messaging to different audiences. So A might work for a specific audience and B might be more of a template for general audiences that you can tweak here and there. Really, really, really nice point. I see, Iman, you have a hand raised and then we'll move on to the next point. Iman, go ahead.
Thank you for giving me the floor. I do believe the introduction A is better because I do believe B is more to be a headline or an article, while A immediately put the people inside the milieu of a story where you directly start to read that people in this village are facing challenges. So you somehow became into a story very quick. Then it led the people from the problem to the solution, where they started with the problem. You are facing this kind of challenges, 1, 2, 3. Then through what people are doing, they somehow became part of the solution. So I do believe it also again connects the people with the story, how they were part of the problem and how they can lead the solution themselves.
Yes. Okay. Really nice. Thank you, Iman.
Thank you.
A lot of reoccurring themes here. Okay, one more. I see someone who hasn't spoken yet. Thank you so much, Gloria. You can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So the story A is my pick because it has human thing in the sense that it tends to tell us about waste and it tells us it connected it to a community. And these are people, so we can easily relate to that. So it drives the story home. We want to know how does this waste impact this community and how does it drive the secular future. So that drives curiosity and at the same time makes the impact that the story wants to portray to drive home speak faster and at the same time achieve it in better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Again, highlighting impact, the how. So a strong introduction gives you the who, the what, the why, the how. It answers all of those, and all of you have articulated it so wonderfully. Intuitively, we know these things. We just need to consolidate the information. I see there's a hand raised, but we'll go to the next slide, and maybe if there's some time afterwards, we can revisit this conversation. So, Yara, you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so important point, good storytelling. Focus on people and experiences. Explain the challenge, the action, and the outcome. Share lessons learned and future aspirations. So that's just a point to note. And then another thing to note, next slide, please. High quality images. So we've been sharing blogs for the last few years, and we've noticed that all the blogs that we share with good images perform much better numbers-wise compared to blogs that maybe don't have good images, or maybe blogs where we use a very generic photo or things like that. So it is of great priority to find really good images. And David showed you some amazing images that, examples of images and ways to approach your images. Just points to note here, clear, relevant photos. If you're talking about one thing, you can't bring a photo from, maybe you're speaking about a story in one location and then you put a picture of somewhere far, please use relevant images, clear images, show people and activities where you can, where the impact is visible. Images help bring the story to life. Again, it helps put a face to the story, and that's how we connect. So I have included some images that are really excellent examples of good photography in the next slide. So all of these pictures. Oh, thank you so much. So all of these pictures are by Jumba Martin. Maybe some of you are familiar with him. He's a Ugandan photographer. For those off mute, please put yourselves on mute. Thank you so much. So Jumba Martin, excellent photographer. His pictures, as you can see here, they're interactive, they're clear, they tell the story. You see an image like this with a good title, you're going to click. You're going to want to know what is this about. You already know that maybe this has something to do with Africa. Maybe there's a lot of context that the image gives you. There's joy, there's the emotion. You see the mother with her baby. You see somebody's teaching. Maybe is this a dentist or what's going on here? So strong images, they pull you in. They help us connect with our audiences. And if your initiative maybe doesn't have access to a photographer, there's a lot that you can do with a phone. Also, there are free platforms that you can use for images. One that we often use is Unsplash. With platforms like that, please make sure to include photo credit. Anywhere you use an image, make sure to include photo credit. I think photographers need to be credited. So we have Unsplash, which is a popular free platform that we use. You can also find good images in Canva as well. Surprisingly, we've been using a lot of Canva images sometimes recently. And there's quite a few free image platforms, but just make sure to use credit. But as I mentioned, there's a lot that you can do with your cell phone. So also make use of what you have when you can. Next slide, please.
Hi, Mamdi. So
Hi.
You have 9 minutes more.
Oh, I have 9 minutes. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
please. And please let's do all to mute our microphone, please, if you're not speaking. Thank you.
Okay. So since we have 9 minutes, we had 2 exercises planned. We'll only do the one. But okay, we can go. I wish we had more time together today. But okay, just something to note. This is important. Clear, accessible language. I can, if you take anything away, please take this. Clear, accessible language. Avoid jargon where possible. Write for a broad audience. Keep your sentences concise and easy to read. Can I have a reader to read for us the jargon? Alice, you're the first off mute. Go ahead. Back on mute. Can I invite a reader to read for us the jargon sentence?
Hi everybody, this is Halima. So for the jargon, our initiative aims to leverage multi-stakeholder partnerships to enhance circular economy outcomes through integrated waste management solutions.
What? Okay. Can we have someone to read the clearer? Can we have someone to read the clearer text?
Our initiative brings businesses, local organizations together to reduce waste and create practical circular economy solutions.
Simple. Thank you so much. Simple, more effective. Please keep this in your mind. Jargon free is more effective. I know it's tempting to want to complicate things, but people don't connect with that. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is just an example of a blog that we did a few years ago when we went to Uganda. You can read this in your own time, but it just highlights the structure. You can scroll down just to see the structure of it. So these pictures were taken on a phone. We had the heading, we had the opening, and we had subheadings as well. And this blog did really well. People really connected with it. We had quotes. If you can't include direct quotes, people connect with that because that's the human voice. We had pictures, and it highlighted an initiative that we're working with, and they do a lot of work through art, through storytelling, through theater, informing sustainable practices in their village. So when in your own time, please feel free to read this blog, but this is just an example of a blog that was really effective on the GRP platform. Next slide, please. Okay, you can skip this slide. We just talked about the structure of a blog. Okay, and then just briefly, something to keep in mind, who your audience is, who are you writing for? Earlier, when we asked for the two different, which introduction was stronger, a really good point was raised was it actually depends on your audiences, which is a really important point because you need to keep in mind who are you writing for? It could be policymakers, donors, practitioners, journalists, community members. Maybe you just want to raise awareness to a more general audience. Different audiences require different tones, different calls to action, and different depths of information. So that's just something to keep in mind. And honestly, this can be a workshop in itself. But just keep in mind at this stage of your audiences. Next slide, please. Okay, you can go to the next slide. Blog distribution. Okay, so when we talked about the content, the life cycle of your blog, we talked about the content creation, which is the first step. And then we talked about publishing, we mentioned publishing. So now you've published your blog, it's on the website. The next step is distributing your content. So some ways that you can distribute your content through social media, where you can share key messages, quotes, pair it with strong visuals, that's very effective, and then encourage people to read the full story. Newsletters, if you don't have one already, maybe consider having a newsletter. Newsletter audiences tend to be more engaged because they actually take the step of signing up. So they want to invest in whatever you have going on. So we found newsletters to be very effective for us. And then partner networks. So that is why when I first started, I said, introduce yourselves and keep an eye on who else is here, because these are people in your potential network. Partner networks. So what we do whenever we have a launch or a blog, an article that we would like to share, we prepare a toolkit where we invite our partners to share in their networks. So not only are we tapping into our own networks, we are tapping into our partner networks as well. And that has proven to be one of the most effective ways for us to amplify our stories and our blogs. So definitely, please, before you leave here, it will be a win if you find someone else, a potential network member, connect on LinkedIn or however else you find easier to connect. Okay, next slide, please. And then just a brief note on, and I am aware I have 3 minutes, but this is just a brief note on SEO, search engine optimization. Essentially what it means is helping people find your story. So when you are writing, you're thinking of what an audience member would search to find your story. What keywords are effective that people are looking to find a story that like the one that you are writing. So instead of writing our project journey, which is very internal, you're centering yourself, something like how communities are reducing plastic waste through local solutions would be more effective, because those are words that people would search for. You would Google, how are communities reducing plastic waste? So there are different ways to, there are different SEO tools available, free ones as well. So if you have a WordPress website, on WordPress there's a tool that you can use. Google Analytics as well provides some information on SEO. So these are just keywords that are most effective. Google Analytics as well it gives you alerts every time certain words were used, certain keywords, so you can see trends in which words are most effective in sort of in your writing, so you can implement the most effective keywords in your writing. So just simple SEO practices to start with: clear titles, structure your content, so subheadings help a lot, and then use relevant keywords naturally. A reoccurring theme is we know a lot of this information intuitively. We know what captures us, so we just need to channel what captures other people. Okay, I see some nods and smiles. You get it. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, I think we can skip this slide. We've talked about social media. I had an activity planned for today, but maybe the BISA team can share this with you after. It's just some prompts for you to think about to craft an outline of your blog. So, what is the story? Who are the people involved? Why is this important? What challenges were encountered? What are lessons learned? What images would strengthen the story? And then what action do you want readers to take after reading? So do you want them to sign up for something? Do you want them to share the story? Do you want them to, whatever call to action you have in mind, attend an event, maybe connect it with your network, that whatever the call to action is, think about that. So I maybe Yaira, afterwards you can share these prompting questions as well. And then we also had another activity where you can think about thinking about creating a blog title. So what is your blog about? Who is at the center of the story? What is the most important takeaway? And why should someone care about your topic? So the what, the who, the why. And then a simple title formula: what, who, why. Example: from waste challenges to local solutions, a community zero waste journey. Very simple. Okay, I will leave it there, and I think we can transition on to the next phase. I'll hand it back to you, Yaira.
Okay. I think we can have an extra 5 minutes from your session. You have an extra 5 minutes before we go to the questions. My people, please, let's put the questions down. So when it's time, we move fast. So let's do an extra 5 minutes.
Okay, I think this would be a wonderful time to maybe do the activity. So we can have two minutes to think about the activity. We don't need to do it in depth, and then 3 minutes for people to share back. It would be really nice to learn from each other as well. So if you can go back to the first activity slide here. Yeah, so just take 2 minutes. Doesn't have to be long. Maybe think one word for each response, and you don't need to respond to everything. And then after 2 minutes, we can hear some thoughts. So just think about, in light of everything we've just discussed, if you can just take a few minutes to think about some of these prompting questions, and then we can do some peer-to-peer learning. Okay. Is there anybody who has any thoughts or reflections to share? I know that wasn't a lot of time, but it would be great to hear from anyone.
Yes, I'll go.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yes, but very quickly. So, in terms of the story, just articulating the sustainable waste disposal. Who are the people involved? That is the local community of the people of Kibera. Why is this important? Because we believe that most of the actions that people are doing usually lean towards lack of knowledge or the levels of ignorance. And now the challenge encountered is basically the messaging. And as you've well articulated it, how you position it to capture is the same thing that even David said when he was clarifying in terms of messaging. Basically, lessons, still knowing how to communicate remains most predominant learnings. And then what images would strengthen? It's basically images that the community would relate with. And then what actions would we want the readers to take? Definitely being involved. Yeah, due to time, I'll keep it as brief.
Thank you so much, Joseph. That was really wonderful. Waste disposal, the people of Kibera. So it's very focused. And you already know that the images are community-centered, community-focused, so you know who you are reaching out to. And then you know that you want the community to get involved. So you have an idea already, an outline of who this messaging is for. Really wonderful. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
So what's the story? It's on sanitation and health. Who are the people involved? The community. Why is this important? We want to inspire volunteerism and taking care of their environment. What are the challenges encountered? Getting them to take responsibility for their environment and not think that it's government alone. What lessons we learned when we come together to care for the environment, we make more impacts. What images would strengthen the story? That's an image of people within the community actually cleaning their environments. What action do you want readers to take after reading? We want them to begin to clean their environment without waiting for government intervention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. That was amazing. I love how clear the call to action is. Readers to clean their environment without waiting for government intervention. This is about sanitation and the community as well, centering the community, but also letting the community know that they have a responsibility to clean their community areas, inspiring volunteers. Very clear. Already you can see that to flesh this out, you have a direction, a roadmap.